Hi everybody, Jessie here from jessiebanks.com and welcome back to another video. So today I have a super awesome scene using a bunch of digital stamps from the greeting farm, the build a living room, the front porch, here at home, and the desktop one. I used some elements out of all of those to build this cute little scene. Now I'm just taking my pencil and I'm creating a horizontal line for where the baseboards will go to go up the wall, to separate my wall and my flooring space. And then I'm just sketching in some lines here to put in the gray hardwood flooring. And to kick things off, I start off with my skin tone. So I'm working in my usual style from darkest color to lightest color. I am coloring on Nina Solar White 110 pound cardstock. And all of the colors will be to the left of the screen for you as I'm coloring along, because I promise I'm not going to read them out every time. This one took a long time. I had over an hour and a half of video footage for this one. I did find that with my new lightings, which works really, really good for my watercolors and stuff, doesn't work so hot for my colored pencils. So I've put a diffuser up and I'm hoping it'll be better. I'm going to film another video later today in order to check and see that that's the case. I have moved on to the hardwood floor now and I'm just using some warm grays. I'm kind of mimicking a look similar to what I have in my own house. I love my flooring, so that's kind of what I was after. And I'm just going to put some random lines in and work on the shadows in order to create the appearance of a hardwood floor. I'm not worried about putting in every little line that you would see in a hardwood floor or anything like that. I just want it to read as though it's a gray hardwood floor. I don't like to put a whole ton of detail into everything simply because it gets too overwhelming for the eye to find anything to rest on. Especially in a scene this busy. My eye darts around all over the place. I'm super happy with how this one came out. I ended up going with like a rosy mustard navy blue color scheme for this one. And it's just kind of warm and cozy and made me really happy. I love all the potted plants that Marie has given us in her little scene. I'm hoping we get some more. I would really love to see like some big philodendron leaves and some trailing plants and things like that. I don't know. I could paint all the plants. I'm kind of a plant person. I think I have 50 plants in my house. So it's a little bit of a personal obsession of mine. So as I work on this, I did the flooring, which was warm grays. I'm also doing the couch in warm grays. So I kind of work my way from the quote unquote boring colors to the more bright and vibrant ones. I like to get all that neutral stuff in place and then go in and figure out exactly where I'm going to put all of our bright colors. I hope everybody is doing very, very well. If you're staying home, I hope you're safe and healthy and everything's doing okay. For those of you that are still working, thank you so much. I'm at home with my son. He's 10. He can't stay home alone for months on end. I want to go back to work. I don't know how you stay-at-home parents do it. Like, I love my son. He is my entire world. But my goodness, do I want to go back to work. I find myself by the end of the day, I'm short-tempered and I'm tired and I'm grumpy and it's just not normal for me to be home so much. So it's kind of really odd to be at home with him. On the same note, though, we're spending lots of time together reading and hanging out and playing catch, and which has been fantastic and I'm loving that. But I still would like to go back to work. So we're just going to finish off our couch here and then we'll do our walls. When I get out of the couch, I go into our neutral grays for all of our walls. I still wanted it to be gray and read almost as a white, but I didn't want to use the same warm grays that I've used on everything else. I kind of wanted to have a little bit of differentiation between those two colors. So I went with the N3, the N1, the N0, and a colorless blender just to blend it all together and make sure it was really, really light. As always, dark to light. That's the way I work with almost everything. Sometimes I do hair light to dark. It all depends on which marker I grab first, to be honest, at this point. I had a blast with this one. I was feeling very, very rusty. I haven't used my markers in a long time. Like, I've used them just to kind of color up a quick image here and there, but I haven't sat down and had a good, like, hour and a half, 2 hour play with my markers in a very long time. Now, I know this video is going super fast. This is sped up to 6 times its original speed. Like I said, I had over an hour and a half of video footage, and I've cut it down to right around 15 minutes. So it's just a lot of stuff. And if you would like to slow down any part of it, there is a little gear on the bottom. I do believe it's the bottom right-hand side of your screen. And you can slow it down so you can watch it a little bit closer. I'll be talking really slow, which, I mean, might sound like I'm talking normal because I talk rather fast on the regular. So once we jump into our fun colors, things kind of get a little more exciting, I hope. I don't know what I'm going to talk about for the next 10 minutes, you guys. I'm sitting at home. I've been baking. Baking's fun. I've been watering my plants. I've been not making sure I don't overwater my plants. I started cucumbers and peas and tomatoes and all those fun things for the garden in the house. So that's going. And other than that, like, I'm bored. Like, I'm doing lots with my son, but like in general, I'm bored. I found the other night I went to bed at like 7 o'clock. I was like, I'm tired. I've had enough. I'm going to bed. So I did. And I'm like, I don't normally do that. Like, I don't. I'm hoping that tomorrow I'm going to film a video or two. I might squeeze one more in tonight. So I'm just kind of hoping that I'm going to get a bunch of videos done again and get ahead so you guys, I can put out lots of content for you guys, and hopefully you're enjoying the videos. I have a blast making videos. I know I jump around between like art supplies and then card making videos and art supplies, but that's kind of my thing. I love all the art supplies and I love making cards. So I put both on my channel because I don't want to have two channels because then I'll just get confused. And I don't need to be more confused than I am normally. So we got her hair colored. Now we're going to start in on the pink color, starting with her little coffee table. That's what it's called. I had a moment. I don't have a coffee table. I have an ottoman. I did color her hair simply so that I knew what I was looking at for coloring the plants and the blue in the window there. I figured it would be way easier to cover up the hair color in the sky or in the green of the leaves than color up the sky or the green of the leaves in her hair. So that's why I did it in that order. And as I do this, I try to go through and kind of do everything I can think that I'm going to want that color first. So like I'm going through right now with the pinky color, that combination that I'm using here, and I'm going through and I'm coloring everything I can with it. I started with the coffee table, then I did the end table. Now I'm doing the dark, like the back set of the bookshelf here, and then I'll do the front of it and then the shelves, and I do a whole bunch with one color before I jump into the next one, just so that I don't have 900 markers over my desk and I'm not hopping back and forth all the time and kind of going in a pattern. I try to avoid having like, although it ends up that way anyway, but I try not to always go like yellow, pink, blue, yellow, pink, blue. I kind of like to have a little more randomness, I guess, to the coloring than being kind of getting in a rut of grabbing one, then the next kind of a deal. So now we got our bookshelf all covered. It's not covered, Jessie. It's colored. And I did the other shelving this color as well. This scene was super fun. So I built this in Word. They're all PNG files, so they don't have any background on them, so they layer over each other very, very well. It took me probably half an hour to 45 minutes to build this entire scene in Word before I printed it out. And then, yeah, I just printed it out on my HP LaserJet printer and took it to my table to start coloring. So that's one nice thing about digital stamps is you buy them, you download them, you can print them and color them now. You don't have to wait for shipping. So that's always a bonus. I love using physical stamps. I do most of my videos with physical stamps now. I haven't been doing a lot with digital. I really want to get back into it. I'd love to color up like some Mo's Digital Pencil and stuff like that coming down the road, but I just haven't been doing a lot with digis lately. So it was kind of nice to print them out and use them and be like, oh yeah, I love working with digital images. They're fun too. So, and you don't have to cut all the masks in order to stamp out scenes and stuff like that, because that takes a lot of time. So now we're working on our mustard color here. So I'm going in with the yellow. I did the entire chair. Now I'm coloring up the flowers and the little nameplate on that box. And I'm going to do the drawer of the end table with that. And the one little picture frame and the home sign. And I'm just kind of working my way around and coloring whatever I think I want to make that color. There's no real rhyme or reason to it. It's just kind of whatever I think looks best by my eye. Which, I mean, might not be what you like, but... So working on our books. I think it's just because it's a lot of Copic coloring, and I haven't voiced over a video that has nothing but Copic coloring like this in a very long time, so I'm kind of, I don't know what to talk about. So I'm filling in the sky because, again, if I get blue on the leaves, it's easier to cover up with the green than it is to cover up the green in the sky. That back pillow went mustard, and now I'm pulling out the B99, the B90 series in order to do our navy blue color on all of these. FYI, you guys, I've only seen my head peek in like this entire video, and if you're like been subscribed to the channel and watching my videos for a long time, I deserve a key for that, because my head is always always in my videos. It never fails. I always stick my head in the video. I don't know. Do it intentionally. It just... Big head, apparently. Sorry, I unplugged my microphone while I was leaning on my counter talking to you guys. Because, you know, while you guys watch it, it's like I'm having a conversation with you. But while I'm at home, I'm staring at a wall talking into microphone. So, I mean, I think that's part of why I have such an issue talking. But I can't do it when I have people down with me, because then I'm like, don't listen to me do a voiceover because I sound like an idiot. I pulled out some green markers in order to work on our foliage here. So what I did was I took out the YG 99, 97, 95, 93, and 91. And then I took out, I do believe it was YR 31. I took out a yellow marker anyway. And I used the darker colors on some of them. And then I started with the YG 95 and worked my way to the yellow for some of the other ones, just to have the same tone of green almost, but lighter and darker colors, so that everything didn't look like the foliage was all one color, because plant life isn't like that, and I thought it would be pretty boring to have every leaf on the entire screen the same color. Here's where I pulled out some E40s again in order to fill in the stem, like the trunks of the trees, and the inside of our picture frames up on top there, just to give it a little bit of a background as opposed to being stark white. And then I did take the colorless blender to go over top of those picture frames just to dull that color back a little bit. And now I'm just going through and filling in what's left. So I brought out my end markers again in order to color in that window frame. A little colorless blender to make sure it's nice and white. And then I'm going in with the lighter green to work on the rest of the foliage. I had so much fun with this card. I will definitely do a whole digi scene again. If anybody is interested in seeing how I build these scenes with Word, I can capture my screen and show you guys in voiceover how I bring everything into Microsoft Word and layer it and kind of play around with things and figure out exactly where I want everything. So if that interests you, definitely leave me a comment down below and I will do that up for you guys here in the near future. That is the end of all of our foliage, I do believe. Oh, no, just those little leaves on our flower in the book stand. I'm amazed I didn't forget about those. Now I'm going back through with the other markers that we used, and I'm just filling in everything else. So I'm doing this one pot pink, and that top book that I didn't color, I'm making that one the pink color. And then I have, 2 more pots that I'm going to turn pink, and I just kind of slowly start filling everything in and filling in the gaps. So if you guys are interested in picking up any of these digital stamps, they are available over at the Greeting Farm. I will have a link to the ones that I used in the description box below, of course, as always. I will put a list of the Copic markers I used down there as well. I'm not going to link to them all individually, but I will give you guys an entire list of the markers I used, at least the ones I remember that I used. And if you have any questions or anything about any of the process, anything like that, definitely just leave me a comment. I'll get back to you guys. They all come to my phone. It may take me a couple days to answer you, but I will answer you. Yeah, this one was fun. I've missed making videos. I haven't done one in like a week or more. It's been a while. You guys have seen a couple, but they weren't filmed like very recently or anything like that. So, going back in with our yellow. Then a little more of our blue, and then I had to figure out what I was going to do with her clothes, because I didn't want to make her clothes match the room, so I ended up going with some purples for her clothes and her slippers. And you can see how I just kind of dotted in some green into those picture frames, and it looks like a picture of some type of bush or flower or shape or whatever. You don't have to be real particular there, because it's not anything that anybody's paying all that close of attention to. It's just kind of something in the background. I never knew what color I wanted to make that stripe around the rug the entire time until the bitter end. Then I was like, I can use this color. So, yeah, now we're filling in our purple, and that'll be it, you guys. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, I would love for you to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. And yeah, I will see you guys very soon in another one. Bye for now.